Close your eyes for a moment, or keep them open, whatever feels comfortable right now. Because we're about to take a journey through 100 facts. Not just any facts, but the kind that make you pause and think, wait, really? The kind that reveal just how strange and fascinating our universe actually is. 100 pieces of knowledge. Some about your body, some about history, some about space, some about animals, some about things so bizarre you'll wonder if I'm making them up. I promise I'm not. This isn't going to be rushed. We're going to move slowly, gently, letting each fact settle before moving to the next. Some will make you smile, some will make you think. Some might just help your mind drift into that pleasant state between waking and sleeping. If you're using this to fall asleep, perfect. That's exactly what it's designed for. Maybe subscribe and tell me which fact was your favorite, or which one you fell asleep during. I love seeing comments from people all over the world drifting off to these strange truths. So, get comfortable. Let your breathing slow. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your forehead. We're about to explore 100 fragments of reality, 100 reasons to marvel at existence, 100 facts to carry you gently into sleep. Let's begin. Fact 1. Your brain generates about 23 watts of power while you're awake. That's enough to power a small LED light bulb. Right now, as you process these words, you're literally a dim light bulb of electrical activity. Fact 2. You have about 37.2 trillion cells in your body. Not million, not billion, trillion. That's more than 5,000 times the number of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. You contain multitudes. Fact 3. Your body completely replaces its outer layer of skin every 28 days. You've had hundreds of different skins in your lifetime. You're constantly becoming new. Fact 4. The human eye can distinguish about 10 million different colors. Your visual experience of reality is incredibly nuanced, even though you probably only have names for a few hundred of those colors. Fact 5. Your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve metal. Your stomach lining completely replaces itself every few days to avoid digesting itself. You contain destructive forces kept in careful balance. Fact 6. You have about 100,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. If you laid them end to end, they'd wrap around the Earth 4 times. You're a walking circulatory planet. Fact 7. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day. That's about 35 million times per year, about 2.5 billion times in an average lifetime. It's been beating reliably since before you were born, and it will keep beating until your last moment. Fact 8. You shed about 30,000 to 40,000 dead skin cells every minute. By the time you finish listening to this, you'll have shed millions of cells. Much of household dust is actually dead human skin. Fact 9. Your nose can remember about 50,000 different scents. Smell is your oldest sense, connected directly to the emotional centers of your brain. This is why certain smells can transport you instantly to childhood memories. Fact 10. Your bones are about 4 times stronger than concrete. Pound for pound, bone is stronger than steel. You're built sturdier than you think. Fact 11. You have the same number of neck bones as a giraffe. 7. Theirs are just much, much longer. This is one of those strange quirks of evolution. Different species, same basic blueprint. Fact 12. Your brain uses 20% of your body's oxygen and calories, despite being only about 2% of your body weight. Thinking is expensive. Your brain is an energy hog. Fact 13. You're taller in the morning than at night. Your spine compresses during the day from gravity and normal activity. You lose about ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch by bedtime, then gain it back while you sleep. Fact 14. Your tongue is the only muscle in your body that's attached at only one end. It's also the fastest healing part of your body. Mouth wounds heal about twice as fast as skin wounds. Fact 15. You blink about 15 to 20 times per minute when you're awake. That's up to 1,200 times per hour. Your eyes need constant maintenance, constant lubrication, constant care. And your brain edits out these moments of darkness so your visual experience seems continuous. Fact 16. Your blood makes up about 7 to 8% of your total body weight. For an average person, that's about 10 to 12 pints of blood constantly circulating, carrying oxygen, fighting infections, healing wounds. Fact 17. You have approximately 100 billion neurons in your brain. Each neuron can form thousands of connections with other neurons. The number of possible neural pathways in your brain exceeds the number of atoms in the universe. Fact 18. Your ears never stop working, even when you're asleep. They're constantly detecting sound. Your brain just chooses to ignore most of it during sleep. But sudden, loud sounds can still wake you because your ears are always on guard. Fact 19. You produce about 25,000 quarts of saliva in a lifetime. That's enough to fill 2 swimming pools. Right now, your mouth is producing saliva, preparing for the food you're not currently eating, keeping your mouth moist, beginning the digestive process. Fact 20. Your body contains about 0.2 milligrams of gold. It's distributed throughout your body in tiny amounts, in your blood, your bones, your organs. You literally have gold inside you, though not enough to be worth extracting. Fact 21. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs that's still perfectly edible. Honey is essentially immortal food. Fact 22. A single bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. Lightning can heat the air around it to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Fact 23. Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. In botanical terms, a berry is a fruit produced from a single flower containing one ovary. Bananas qualify. Strawberries, despite their name, don't. Fact 24. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. Scientists estimate about 3 trillion trees on our planet, compared to about 200 to 400 billion stars in our galaxy. We live on a forest planet. Fact 25. The world's oldest living tree is about 5,000 years old. It's a bristlecone pine in California called Methuselah. It was already ancient when the pyramids were built. It's been alive through all of recorded human history. Fact 26. Bamboo can grow up to 3 feet in a single day. You can literally watch it grow if you're patient enough. It's one of the fastest growing plants on Earth. Fact 27. A single cloud can weigh more than 1,000,000 pounds. Clouds look light and fluffy, but they're made of water droplets. A cumulus cloud, one of those puffy white ones, typically weighs about 1.1 million pounds. They float because they're spread out over such a large area. Fact 28. The Earth's core is as hot as the surface of the sun, about 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit. You're living on a thin crust above an ocean of molten rock heated by a nuclear furnace. The ground beneath your feet is only solid because of pressure and distance from that heat. Fact 29. Octopuses have 3 hearts, 9 brains, and blue blood. 2 hearts pump blood to their gills, 1 pumps it to the rest of the body. Each arm has its own cluster of neurons that can operate semi-independently. They're alien creatures right here on Earth. Fact 30. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Venus rotates so slowly that it takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation, but only 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun. Time works differently there. Fact 31. The Great Barrier Reef is the largest living structure on Earth. It's so large it can be seen from space. It's made up of billions of tiny organisms called coral polyps. It's not a thing. It's a community, a vast living city built by tiny creatures over thousands of years. Fact 32. The smell of rain has a name, petrichor. It's caused by oils that plants release during dry periods combined with a chemical produced by bacteria in the soil. When rain falls, these compounds are released into the air. You're not imagining that smell. It's real, and it has a name. Fact 33. Sharks have been around longer than trees. Sharks appeared about 400 million years ago. Trees evolved about 350 million years ago. Sharks are older than forests. Fact 34. A strawberry isn't a single fruit. What we think of as a strawberry is actually the swollen middle part of the flower, those little seeds on the outside. Each of those is technically a separate fruit. You're eating dozens of fruits when you eat one strawberry. Fact 35. The largest organism on Earth is a fungus. The Armillaria ostoyae fungus in Oregon covers 2,385 acres. It's essentially a single organism spread throughout the soil, connected by an underground network. The mushrooms you see are just the fruiting bodies of a massive hidden organism. Fact 36. There are more possible iterations of a game of chess than there are atoms in the known universe. After just 4 moves each, there are more than 288 billion possible positions. Complexity explodes from simple rules. Fact 37. Water can exist in 3 states simultaneously. At a specific temperature and pressure called the triple point, water can be solid, liquid and gas at the same time. This is called the triple point of water, 0.01 degrees Celsius and 611.657 pascals of pressure. Fact 38. The largest snowflake ever recorded was 15 inches wide. It was observed in Fort Keogh, Montana in 1887. Most snowflakes are tiny. This one was the size of a dinner plate. Fact 39. Pineapples take about 2 years to grow. That pineapple you ate in 5 minutes took 2 years to produce. Plants operate on different timescales than we do. Fact 40. The world's quietest room is so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat, your lungs breathing, your stomach digesting. It's at Microsoft headquarters, and people can't stay in it for more than 45 minutes because the silence becomes disorienting. We're not meant for complete quiet. Fact 41. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the building of the Great Pyramid. The pyramids were built around 2560 BCE. Cleopatra lived around 30 BCE. That's about 2,500 years after the pyramids. The moon landing was 1969 CE, about 2,000 years after Cleopatra. Ancient Egypt was ancient to ancient Egyptians. Fact 42. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Teaching began at Oxford around 1096. The Aztec Empire began in 1428. Some institutions outlast entire civilizations. Fact 43. The shortest war in history lasted 38 to 45 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after less than an hour of fighting. Fact 44. The Great Wall of China isn't visible from space with the naked eye, despite the common myth. It's long, but it's not particularly wide. Many highways are wider. Astronauts have confirmed you can't see it without magnification. Fact 45. The ancient Romans used urine as mouthwash. The ammonia in urine was a good cleaning agent. There was even a tax on urine collection. Before modern chemistry, people used what worked. Fact 46. Napoleon wasn't actually short. He was about 5 feet 6 inches or 5 feet 7 inches, which was average or slightly above average for his time. The myth came from British propaganda and confusion between French and English measurement systems. Fact 47. The first known war in human history was fought over water. Around 2500 BCE, the Sumerian city-states of Lagash and Yuma went to war over the water supply. We've been fighting over resources for at least 4,500 years. Fact 48. Before alarm clocks were reliable, people hired other people to wake them up. These knocker-uppers would tap on windows with long sticks to wake their clients. This was a real job in Britain until the 1970s. Fact 49. The youngest person to ever become Pope was 11 years old. Pope Benedict IX became Pope in 1032 at approximately 11 or 12 years old. He would later be Pope 3 separate times, selling the papacy at one point. Fact 50. Ancient Egyptians used moldy bread as an antibiotic. They observed that moldy bread helped prevent infections in wounds. They didn't understand why. They didn't know about penicillin, but they noticed it worked. Fact 51. The first computer programmer was a woman. Ada Lovelace wrote the first algorithm intended to be processed by Charles Babbage's analytical engine in 1843, nearly a century before modern computers were built. Fact 52. The longest time between two twins being born is 87 days. One was born prematurely, and doctors managed to delay the birth of the second twin for almost 3 months. They have different birthdays almost 3 months apart. Fact 53. The Great Fire of London in 1666 killed only 6 people officially. The fire destroyed 13,000 houses and 87 churches, but the official death toll was remarkably low, likely because people could evacuate. The death toll was probably higher, but records weren't perfect. Fact 54. Vikings used to give kittens to new brides. Cats were associated with Freya, the goddess of love. Giving kittens to brides was meant to bring good fortune to the marriage. Vikings loved cats. Fact 55. The longest recorded flight of a chicken is 13 seconds. Chickens can fly technically, but they're not good at it. 13 seconds was apparently the record. Most chickens fly for much shorter periods. Fact 56. There was a third atomic bomb ready to be dropped on Japan. After Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the US had a third atomic bomb being prepared. Japan surrendered before it needed to be used. Fact 57. The first person convicted of speeding was going 8 miles per hour. In 1896, Walter Arnold was fined for speeding in a 2 miles per hour zone. He was going 4 times the speed limit, which seems absurd now, but 8 miles per hour was genuinely fast at the time. Fact 58. OMG has been in use since 1917. In a letter to Winston Churchill, Lord Fisher wrote, OMG, oh my God. It's not a modern invention. People have been abbreviating their surprise for we over a century. Fact 59. The oldest known musical instrument is a flute made from a vulture bone. It's about 40,000 years old, found in Germany. Humans have been making music for at least that long, probably much longer. Fact 60. Before the mid-1800s, dentures were often made from teeth pulled from dead soldiers after battles. Waterloo teeth, they were called, after the Battle of Waterloo. The demand for replacement teeth was high, and battlefield corpses were a plentiful supply. Fact 61. A day on Mercury lasts 176 Earth days. Mercury rotates so slowly that one day, one complete rotation, takes almost half an Earth year. Time is relative, and nowhere is that more obvious than on other planets. Fact 62. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches. Estimates suggest there are about 700 quintillion grains of sand on Earth. But there are anywhere from 1 to 10 sextillion stars in the observable universe. The universe contains more stars than our planet contains sand. Fact 63. A spoonful of neutron star would weigh about 6 billion tons. Neutron stars are so dense that their atoms are crushed together. Matter is mostly empty space, but in a neutron star, that space is squeezed out. A sugar cube-sized amount would weigh as much as all of humanity combined. Fact 64. Venus rotates in the opposite direction from most planets. While most planets spin counterclockwise, Venus spins clockwise. This is called retrograde rotation. On Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. Fact 65. The footprints on the moon will be there for at least 100 million years. There's no wind or weather to erode them. The only thing that will eventually erase them is micrometeorite impacts, and that takes a very long time. Fact 66. Saturn's moon Titan has liquid lakes and seas, but they're made of liquid methane and ethane, not water. It's the only other place in our solar system with stable liquid on its surface. It rains there, but the rain is methane. Fact 67. The Sun makes up 99.86% of the mass of our entire solar system. All the planets, moons, asteroids, comets, and everything else combined make up only 0.14%. We live in a solar system dominated overwhelmingly by one star. Fact 68. Light from the Sun takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. When you look at the Sun, please don't actually look at the Sun. You're seeing it as it was more than 8 minutes ago. You're looking into the past. Fact 69. There's a planet made of diamond. 55 Cancri E is a super-Earth that's likely covered in graphite and diamond. It's about twice the size of Earth and orbits very close to its star. The galaxy contains wonders we can barely imagine. Fact 70. The coldest place in the universe isn't in deep space. It's on Earth in a laboratory. Scientists have achieved temperatures within a billionth of a degree of absolute zero. The coldest natural place is the Boomerang Nebula at about 1 degree Kelvin, but we've made things colder. Fact 71. If you drove a car at 60 miles per hour, it would take about 166 days to reach the moon. The moon is about 238,855 miles away. Space is big, and even our nearest neighbor is astonishingly far away. Fact 72. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is a storm that's been raging for at least 400 years. It's a hurricane larger than Earth that has persisted since before the invention of the telescope. Weather on other planets operates on timescales we can barely comprehend. Fact 73. There are rogue planets, drifting through space, not orbiting any star. They were either ejected from their star systems or formed independently. They wander the galaxy in darkness, untethered to any sun. Fact 74. The Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies are on a collision course. They'll collide in about 4.5 billion years. When they do, our solar system will likely be flung to a different part of the merged galaxy. The night sky will look completely different. Fact 75. 1 million Earths could fit inside the Sun. Despite being our nearest star and seeming not that large in the sky, the Sun is enormous. It's a reminder that our sense of scale is limited by our everyday experience. Fact 76. The universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. This doesn't violate relativity because space itself is expanding. Distant galaxies are moving away from us faster than light can travel through space. The universe is running away from itself. Fact 77. There's a giant water reservoir floating in space that contains 140 trillion times all the water in Earth's oceans. It surrounds a quasar 12 billion light-years away. Water is common in the universe. We're not special in that regard. Fact 78. Black holes can evaporate. Through a process called Hawking radiation, black holes slowly lose mass over incredibly long timescales. Eventually, even black holes will die. Nothing lasts forever, not even the universe's most extreme objects. Fact 79. The center of the Milky Way tastes like raspberries and smells like rum. A cloud of gas there, called Sagittarius B2, contains ethyl formate, which gives raspberries their flavor and smells like rum. The galaxy is full of organic molecules. Fact 80. If you could fold a piece of paper 42 times, it would reach the moon. Each fold doubles the thickness. After 42 folds, you'd have a stack of paper about 439,804 kilometers thick, more than enough to reach the moon at 384,400 kilometers. Exponential growth is powerful. Fact 81. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. The collective noun is perfect. Language sometimes captures the essence of things beautifully. Fact 82. Cows have best friends and get stressed when they're separated. Studies show that cows pair up and form close bonds. They're not just livestock, they're social creatures with relationships and emotions. Fact 83. The inventor of the Pringles can is buried in one. Frederick Bauer was so proud of his design that he requested his ashes be buried in a Pringles can. His children honored this request. Part of him is in his greatest creation. Fact 84. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn. Despite being a mythical creature, the unicorn has been a Scottish symbol since the 12th century. Sometimes nations choose the imaginary over the real. Fact 85. There's enough DNA in your body that if uncoiled, it would stretch about 10 billion miles. enough to go from here to Pluto and back. Every cell contains about 6 feet of DNA wound up tightly. You contain astronomical distances folded into microscopic spaces. Fact 86. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. Their intestines have elastic and stiff sections that shape the waste into cubes. This prevents it from rolling away and helps mark territory. Evolution finds strange solutions to strange problems. Fact 87. The word nightmare comes from an Old English term for a female demon who sat on people's chests while they slept, causing bad dreams and difficulty breathing. The mare part has nothing to do with horses. Fact 88. Dolphins have names for each other. They use specific whistles to identify and call to specific individuals. They don't just communicate, they have something like names. Fact 89. The letter E is the most common letter in English, appearing in about 11% of all words. This fact is used in cryptography. If you're trying to decode an encrypted message, start by finding the most common letter. It's probably E. Fact 90. You can't hum while holding your nose closed. Try it. You need air moving through your nose to create the humming sound. It's impossible to hum with your nose pinched shut. Fact 91. Bubble wrap was originally invented as wallpaper. Designers Alfred Fielding and Mark Chavan tried to make 3D textured wallpaper in 1957. It didn't work as wallpaper, but it was perfect for packaging. Fact 92. The world's oldest "your mom" joke is from 3,500 years ago. It's from ancient Babylon and translates roughly to "Of your mother is by the one who has intercourse with her." Humans have been making the same jokes for thousands of years. Fact 93. Sea otters hold hands while sleeping so they don't drift apart. They'll form rafts of otters, all holding hands, floating together. It's adorable and practical. Fact 94. There's a species of jellyfish that's biologically immortal. Turritopsis dohonii can reverse its aging process and return to its juvenile form. It can cycle between mature and juvenile states indefinitely. It's essentially immortal unless something kills it. Fact 95. The longest English word without a vowel is rhythms. If you count Y as a consonant, this 9-letter word contains no A, E, I, O, or U. Language can be playfully constraining. Fact 96. A small child could swim through the veins of a blue whale. The aorta of a blue whale is large enough for a human child to crawl through. Blue whales are incomprehensibly large. Fact 97. The dot over the letter I and J has a name. A tittle. It's not just a dot, it's a tittle. Everything has a name if you look closely enough. Fact 98. Polar bears are nearly invisible to thermal cameras. Their fur is so good at retaining heat that almost none escapes as infrared radiation. To a thermal camera, a polar bear is almost the same temperature as its surroundings. Fact 99. A single bolt of cotton can contain thread that could reach from Earth to the Moon and back. A standard bolt contains about 3,000 yards of thread, but some industrial bolts contain hundreds of thousands of yards, enough to span astronomical distances. Fact 100. You are made of stardust. Not metaphorically, literally. Every atom in your body heavier than hydrogen was created in the heart of a dying star billions of years ago. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the oxygen you breathe, all of it was forged in stellar furnaces. You are the universe experiencing itself, made from the remnants of ancient stars. And there we have it. 100 facts, 100 fragments of knowledge, 100 reasons to find the universe fascinating. Some of these you might have known already. Some were probably new. Some you'll remember tomorrow. Some you'll forget by morning. And that's okay. The point wasn't to memorize 100 facts. The point was to take a gentle journey through the strange and wonderful reality we inhabit. To be reminded that the world is more interesting than we usually notice. That there are infinite things to learn, infinite reasons to be curious, infinite wonders tucked into the everyday. Your body is a marvel. The natural world is full of surprises. History is stranger than fiction. Space contains incomprehensible beauty, and even the mundane contains mysteries if you look closely enough. As you drift towards sleep now, let these facts blur together. Let them become a soft background hum of wonder. You don't need to hold on to them. You don't need to remember them all. They have served their purpose to occupy your mind gently, to give your thoughts something to settle on, to carry you peacefully toward rest. Tomorrow the world will still be full of facts, still be full of things worth knowing, worth discovering, worth marveling at. There will always be more to learn, always more reasons to be amazed. But tonight, let it all go. Let the 100 facts fade into the darkness. Let your mind grow quiet and still. You've traveled through body and nature and history and space and strangeness. You've seen a tiny fraction of all there is to know. And now it's time to rest. Sleep well with the knowledge that you live in an endlessly fascinating universe. That you yourself are endlessly fascinating. A collection of trillions of cells, miles of blood vessels, billions of neurons, all working together to create the experience of being you. You are stardust experiencing the universe. You are atoms that learn to wonder about atoms. You are part of an ancient, beautiful, mysterious reality that we're only beginning to understand. And right now, that reality is inviting you to sleep. So close your eyes. Let your breathing deepen. Let the facts dissolve into dreams. The universe will still be here in the morning, full of wonders we haven't even discovered yet. Rest well.